In this week's Boss Lady, we want you to meet the woman behind Love for Paws, an animal rescue organization based in Sarasota, Florida. Please welcome Melanie Lehmann to Daily Flash. Hi, Melanie.
Good morning, Andrea. How are you?
Good to see you. Why did you start Love for Paws?
Uh, I started Love for Paws. I had worked with another large rescue group for about 10 years and served on the board of directors. And they had become really big, and I felt like they were possibly going a direction that it wasn't where I wanted to be. So I resigned and did some volunteering here locally, and then just thought I just might be crazy enough to start one on my own. So I gathered a few people that had worked with the previous rescue before, gathered some friends with great rescue hearts, and we formed a board and got going.
Your focus has always been on the bigger, more active breeds like the Great Danes and the Weimaraners. Why?
Yes, yes. I personally own two Great Danes and two Weimaraners and a pit mix, but the sporting breeds definitely Weimaraners, German Shorthairs, Vizslas, Great Danes. But I think it's pretty common knowledge that the larger and extra large breeds are less adoptable from a shelter and even privately. You know, they're not always the people don't always have the right home for a larger breed. So that's who we try to focus on so we can help more of the dogs that need help.
I think so many people see these beautiful photos and videos of these dogs, or they see one featured in a movie and they think, oh my gosh, I want that for my family. But then once they get them, they don't realize the work that's involved. You recently took in about a dozen golden doodles during a rescue.
We did. Yeah, there have been several golden doodles being dumped in the woods in Hernando County area. There were 11 that were found about midnight uh, 2 Fridays ago. And so we got them here on Saturday. So we are in the process of getting the rest of their vetting done and finding them homes.
And why is it that golden doodles are being abandoned in what seems like record numbers, and not just golden doodles, but the Labradoodle breed as well?
Correct. I can't speak for certain. I feel as though what we're seeing is just so much overbreeding in a lot of these backyard breeders. What we suspect of the ones that we took in, they are two litters. We have estimated a 6 month litter and a 9 month litter. So what we suspect is that probably the breeder had one or two litters on the way or just recently born that would be more, I say adoptable, but for them sellable, I guess would be the more correct word. So they probably didn't have a reason for these older litters anymore and just got rid of them.
Your organization made national headlines with a 19-year-old Weimaraner named Dax. Give us the story behind Dax.
Yeah, Dax was at a shelter in a rural shelter in North Florida. And the rescue that I worked with previously, we had a relationship with, they didn't have a foster home available. And, you know, at his age, obviously wasn't appropriate for him to go to a facility. So we said we would take him here so he could live out his days in a foster home with one of our amazing board members. And as it turns out, the other rescue did find an adoptive home for him. So he was with us for almost 3 weeks, but then went to an adoptive home, and unfortunately ended up being returned to the other rescue. But he had a good 6 weeks or so where he was very well loved by everyone who met him. He was an amazing dog.
You guys do a lot of work with vets and take care of animals that have come into you wounded and injured. How much of a part of your organization is involved in bringing a pet back to life like we see with Dax? And I understand you've got one with the Golden Doodle rescue you just did.
Yeah. Well, yeah, vet care is obviously a huge part of what we do. It's what I would say 85% of our costs are involved in vet care. And as you mentioned, we just found out that one of the golden doodle puppies has a genetic deformity. So he is probably not going to be adoptable. So we're just going to keep him, happy on meds. He had an MRI. It's not likely that surgery is going to be able to help him. So we're going to treat him medically and give him the best life we can, until something changes and our vets tell us that he no longer has a good quality of life. But he's a super sweet little dog. We named both these litters after Thanksgiving meal, and his name is actually Turkey. So he's a sweetheart.
Melanie, thank you so much for all that you do. If you want more information on Melanie or Love for Paws Florida, head to their website, Love for Paws FL, or follow them on Facebook or Instagram at Love for Paws FL. Stay with us. Much more to come right after this.